You don't have to use color management, okay? Now, if you're a color nerd or if you've watched a bunch of color grading tutorials, you might be like, Casey's lost his mind. But it's true, you do not have to use color management in order to get good color grades. In fact, there are a lot of people who don't. But I'm going to show you in this video why you might want to color manage anyway. Okay, so here's a shot from a video that I posted a couple of days ago, and I asked you to guess which one was using color management, which one wasn't. And honestly, I don't think you could do it. In fact, I kind of forgot which one it is. Now, you'll notice that these are a little different. All right, I could have matched this maybe a little better, worked on it a little longer, but you know what? It's not the point to totally match these. The truth is, like I discussed the other day, the only thing that really matters is, does your image look good? Does it feel the way that you want? And both of these could certainly give the viewer a certain feeling that you would like. Now, maybe you would color grade this differently. That's not the point either. But let's roll the time back to the before times. The log signal. All right, this is footage that was shot on the Blackmagic 6K Pocket in Blackmagic Film Gen 5. And so it comes in kind of gray, desaturated, nasty log footage. And part of our job dealing with log footage in the color page is to make this footage actually look good on the screen. And there's pretty much two ways that you can do that. You can use color management, or you can kind of tweak the colors yourself. So first of all, what the heck is color management and why would we care about any of that? Well, color management, what that does is that takes this log signal and you tell it what kind of log footage this is. It kind of reverses the image magic that the camera does when it's shooting an image. It pretty much does the reverse of making things gray and taking down the contrast and taking down the saturation. And it turns it into an image that looks more normal on your screen. And you do this with an exciting thing called menus. From a menu of some kind, whether it's in a color space transform node or whether it's in your project color management settings, there are a series of drop downs with little options that you select. And if you select the options that make sense for the camera that you used and the type of log that you're shooting, and you set your output color space to something like Rec 709, that's going to make it look good on your screen, then color management takes that log shot and it makes it look good on your screen. Now, something to notice here is that there's no creativity. There is no choices. There's nothing that depends on me as a colorist or a video editor. It's just literally selecting the right things from a menu. It's about as much creativity as hitting the right button on an elevator so that you can go up to your floor. You can mess it up, but only if you hit the wrong button. But let's just take that metaphor for a second. What if you needed to go to the third floor and instead of going into the elevator and hitting 3, you decided that you would climb up the stairs and then go outside the window and you would climb up the fire escape and there you could get to the third floor yourself in all kinds of creative ways. Both of these approaches, whether you get on the elevator and just hit 3 or whether you Spider-Man up the outside of the building, you can get to the third floor. But one of them, the elevator, is going to be a lot more direct and a lot less work. And you have a much higher likelihood of not falling off of a building. And so the reason why we use color management is just that. I can go from this to this, zero thinking, literally just selecting the right settings on a menu. And this gives me a great starting point when it comes to color grading. Now I can look at this image and go, okay, the image looks pretty good. What do I want to change about it? And then I can get into creative mode, okay? Now, if I don't have any color management, I'm kind of left on my own. I still have a lot of control and a lot of things that I can do to this image to make it look good on the screen. One of them being, well, dang, this definitely needs more contrast. I can push this contrast up. I can change the pivot around. I can maybe push some color boost in there. And I can get a pretty good looking image with not tons and tons of work, especially if I'm familiar with the color tools and what I'm doing. It's kind of the same idea. I go from this to this. The difference is that I've decided how bright things should be. I've decided how dark things should be. I've decided how much saturation should be in this grass back here. I've decided what color this car should be and what color her dress should be and how bright the sunlight should be on her face. I did that all, even though it didn't take very long for me to do it. I made a series of a whole bunch of choices creatively without even realizing it, which is fine. But it's important that we note that you did make those choices and you put creativity into this image when you didn't even necessarily mean to. And so even though we were just kind of fixing problems, we fixed some problems and put our own spin on it. Does this matter in the great big scope of things? Not really, because the only thing that's important is, does the image look the way you want it to look? We've gotten to the third floor by Spider-Manning up the building. So you may be asking, well then what's the deal with color management? Why is that such a big thing? Two reasons. One, we're trying to kind of isolate a technical thing from a creative thing, all right? This is really a technical problem, not a creative problem. So a technical problem we want to fix with a technical solution, which would be color management. A creative problem like, ooh, I feel like this should feel warmer. That's a creative problem. We want to fix that with a creative solution. And so it's kind of the right tools for the right job. The other big thing is that color management is a more direct path, which means that it's going to save you time because you don't have to decide how much contrast and how much saturation to add to an image. And it's also overall going to give you a better result because your image is going to look a lot more like how it looked in real life when you shot real life things. And so an image of a person and their skin tone is going to more easily look more natural when you're using color management because it just puts the skin back where it's supposed to be. When we're manually messing around with this image, we're changing this contrast around and everything, and we just don't give a heck and a half what this skin is supposed to look like. We're just kind of trying to willy-nilly put some contrast in here and make it look good. Color management is a more direct route to a better result. So does this mean that you can just slap color management on an image and you don't have to touch it? Does it take away all that creativity? No. In fact, look at this image. This is just our color management. And honestly, there's some stuff that I would change with this. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to look exactly how you want it to look. It means that it's going to look as close as possible to how this looked when you shot it, which if you absolutely nailed everything in camera, might be exactly what you want. But at this point, we're freed up to do some creative stuff and make this image feel the way we want it to feel. And we don't have to climb over all of the technical stuff first. It's already done for us. And so I can add these tweaks for these other nodes that I think will make this look better in addition to my color management. That's really the big deal. Now, if you find yourself kind of confused and frustrated with color grading on a regular basis, you need to take our 5-day simple color workflow challenge. It's a live coaching experience with me. It's 5 days long. We meet every morning and I'll walk you through my perfect color workflow. This is a no stress way to color grade your videos without getting overwhelmed. And I've seen it time and time again take somebody who's kind of frustrated about color grading and frees them up to be creative and excited and confident in their color. There's a link down in the description below. I want you to sign up for that. All right. Other than that, I hope this helped a lot. Hope that clears things up because you don't have to color manage, but it does help and it does make things a lot easier. Okay. If you want to learn more about how the heck color management works at all, well, I have a big old roundup on what the heck that is right there. Okay. Okay. Bye.